Hello everyone and welcome to class 208 with me, April Moon. Today we have got a seated Pilates exercise for you. I'm going to really aim at people who work out in an office or sit down at a computer all day, because I know I have a lot of people who come to me to my live classes face to face, and they say I sit at a desk all day and my shoulders, my upper body is burning. So these stretches will really help. I'll try and chunk them down, so you could always save this to the page and then have this on silent as you're working and just follow along with me. And yeah, it saves the page so you can come back to it as many times as you wish. As always, please go very careful when performing these exercises. Allow your own body to adjust and adapt where need be, and never push to the point of pain. We just want to stretch out and release those tight muscles. So if you are sat at a desk or a chair, you can of course do this in an armchair. It's absolutely fine, or a sofa if you've got that. But you want to be as comfortable as you can, and obviously with office chairs, I know that they've got backs to support you. And I know a lot of companies sort of make sure that that's a requirement. So I hope you have got a nice office chair if that's where you are, and just drop your shoulders down and away. So the reason why we get so sort of tense in our neck and shoulders that is throughout the day we forget about our posture, and really your posture is everything. If you've got tension in your hands, or you're having maybe a bit of a stressful day and you start to round over and you start to look like this, your whole body, your whole upper body is starting to feel quite stressed, and that is the reason why as well those muscles get really tight, and we sometimes need a good detox and a stretch off. So let's sit with 2 feet flat on the floor. That's another good thing. Try not to cross your ankle over or your knee over. It's really, it's a habit that most people do, and you'll just naturally go to do it without even thinking about it due to muscle memory. But let's just try and keep both feet grounded onto the floor. You don't want your feet too far away from you either. You don't want them too close in. Just flat down so you can just see sort of the tip of your toes and the ankles in line with your knees. And then we want to make sure that our sitting bones are glued down. I'm going to go through these exercises as best I can, but don't forget that most people have one hip slightly weaker than the other, higher than the other. Your glutes as well, if they're quite weak, that will create a huge impact in your upper body positioning and your posture. If your lower body is a little bit misaligned, which most people's are, even I've got one hip higher than the other, which really pulls on the rest of my body. My spine as well slightly curves at the bottom. All those sorts of things are going to really affect your upper body. So you can do these exercises as best you can, but if you do have sort of any ongoing pain, then a chiropractor, osteopath or a physiotherapist could really help you as well. Okay, but for now, let's just concentrate on these light stretches to help ease your day. Both feet are flat, knees are in line with the hips as well. Try not to have the toes out to the side, so the lower body is as comfortable as we can. The sitting bones are glued down. Now, when it comes to your back, if you're just in like an armchair or wooden chair, we don't want to slump over like this. We want to be up and tall. So we feel from the base of our spine traveling all the way up into the back of the head. Our spine is nice and aligned. Okay, we drop the shoulders down and away, and the palms are just rested on the thighs. And first things first, we are just going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. This should help really calm you down. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in and out. Now try and keep those shoulders down. In and out. Breathe in and out. Last one, inhale and exhale. So hands are here. And now just pushing the shoulders down and away. We're just going to gently tilt the right ear to the right shoulder. Now this is going to feel a lot nicer on one side than it is the other. That will also be to do with your shoulders. We always have one shoulder that slopes more than the other. Very normal. It depends on what handed you are. If you're right-handed, you find that you're so right dominant. Your right side will perform a lot differently to your left. So just feel that stretch all down here. Now, if you've never heard me say this before, this is your traps muscle. When that gets very, very tight, headaches will occur. It's not that they can occur, they will occur because all that pressure is running right to the back of your head, up into your face. So when these get really tight, this is a major, major problem. So always stretch out, even in the middle of your day. If you're sat at your desk, you set an alarm on your phone, like on the hour, you could just stop, take 30 seconds each side just to stretch out this muscle here. Just breathe in and out. And lift back up. Good. Now going to do it again. Inhale. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. And now just see if you can go a little bit further. Not too much, but just push this shoulder down slightly. We're just letting the body warm up, so we don't want to overstretch anything. And lift. Let's go to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, drop it down. Push that right shoulder down and away. And lift up. Now, just before we keep going, just roll these shoulders back, up and down, rolling them forward. And relax. And let's go again. Now, inhale, exhale, right ear to the right shoulder. So imagine you're sort of leaning your head back slightly and then do it because you're going to get a lot deeper into the top of the muscle. If we have our head forward and do it, we're just really rounding through the upper spine and not doing that much. So we're just doing it there. That's quite nice. And then just push this left shoulder down and away a little bit more. And breathe. And then come back up, release. Inhale. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Push the right shoulder down and away. Just breathe in and out, just push it away. Good, and come up. And again, just roll those shoulders back and forth. So that has taken 4 minutes. So you could easily do that and just set a timer or follow along if you can to this video on your lunch break or mid-morning, and that will really help to kind of reset you as well. I actually follow a lot of yoga teachers that do yoga for the face, and they always start by stretching off the neck. So don't underestimate how much tension that's stored in your neck and shoulders affects every part of your body, especially the face and the jaw. So that's what we're going to do as well. We're going to stretch off from the shoulders all the way up. So now just look over your right shoulder. So a little fun fact, if you've got one shoulder that slopes down more than the other, you're going to actually drop your shoulder probably by a few centimeters when you do this. I'm the same. When I turn to the right, my left shoulder drops. It's a funny thing. So don't worry if you feel like you've got a lot of shoulder movement. It would depend on your sort of own skeleton and how that is. Hands are flat onto your sides though, okay? And then bring them back in towards your hips. So your elbows are out a little bit, but you're dropping your shoulders down and away. And then inhale, exhale, turn over to the right. And then going to feel a stretch here at the front of the face and all down into the neck. And then come back in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Left chin goes over. Stretch that right shoulder out. And then look forward. Wonderful. Roll those shoulders back and up. And release. Now just place the hands mid part of the thighs and drop the elbows. So now we're going to push the elbows down and away. Now this, if you don't have a lot of time, or if you're really busy at work and you have quite a stressful job, or it's quite intense, or you're just incredibly busy from the minute you sit down, if you do this sort of every hour on the hour, every 2 hours, you will feel a huge difference. And all it is you place your hands probably midpoint of your thighs, and you inhale, and then exhale, push your elbows down in towards your hips. Now you're going to feel a really lovely stretch right at the top of your shoulders, and that should feel really relaxing. Now with the upper body, don't let it go forward. You want to try and sit back as much as you can, and you're going to feel even deeper stretch. And release. Inhale. Exhale, push down. Relax. You can close your eyes as well if you can. And release, lift up. So now elbow, shoulders go right up into your ears. Inhale, exhale, push it down. Back is nice and long. Lift up, inhale. Exhale. And one more, breathe in. Exhale, lower. Push it down. Relax the jaw. Relax the face. And release. Now if you can, and you've got no arms on your chair, you can just move back and forth. If you have, you can always stand up. And now just let your arms go really floppy and heavy, and then just bring those arms back and forth. Let all the tension just leave. Wonderful. And now we're going to leave the shoulders alone. That was roughly 10 to 12 minutes. So again, you could do that on your lunch break. This is saved to the page. You can come back and you can do it on your lunch break. You can just follow along. You don't even have to have the sound on. But those few exercises will just really help release the tension. If you don't have time at work, you can always do these at the end of the day. I highly recommend doing it even before bed or when you first wake up. And believe it or not, over time, you will start to feel a massive difference in your upper body. Now we're going to work on the back. So if you think we've worked into the neck, which is probably the most tension, that tension does travel down into the spine, going out into your rhomboids, which is right in the middle of your shoulder blades, and going into the rest of your back. So let's stretch that off. I'm going to turn to the side, but you can stay where you are. This is just so you can see me a little bit better. So we always start with a nice straight long spine. and we clasp the hands together here. And you drop the shoulders down and away. So nod your chin in a little bit. So rule of thumb in Pilates, we never have the chin right towards the chest. You want like a small golf ball between chin and chest. And then inhale, exhale, push, round it forward. Now your eyes should be looking at the thighs. Breathing in and out. And then come back in. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And out, nod the chin. So first, then round through the spine, hands forward. And come in. Inhale, let's do it a few more times. Exhale. So the shoulders are down. Nod the chin, elbows. And let's try and place the elbows out a little bit further more now. So we're hugging a really big tree. Keep the toes relaxed on the floor. Come back in. Breathe in. And out. Inhale. Exhale. And then last one. Inhale, nod your chin. Exhale, stretch forward. And then release. Come back in, sit up nice and tall. And again, if you've got the space or you might need to stand up, you can just arms back and forth. Wonderful. Now take the hands onto your knees so they're like anchoring down. Now imagine that your knees are super glued down. So I'm going to just twist over. So you can stay where you are, but the hands are glued, hands onto the knees are glued down. Now nod your chin and then round through. So you've got a really terrible posture. Elbows are placing down and towards your thighs. So although we're rounding off the spine, we're also targeting the right of the upper back. And lift. Inhale. And then nod round. Elbow down. And lift. One more. Nice tall spine. Inhale. And exhale, nod. Round it through. And lift. Wonderful. If you can, swing those arms. So hopefully your upper body should feel a lot more relaxed already. Okay, now on to the hamstrings. So the reason why most office workers have bad backs is because of their posture and their tight hamstrings. If your hamstrings are tight, that will pull on your glutes and then that will pull on your lower back. So that is why you have tight legs if you sit down. So you can do these exercises sitting in your chair at work. You've got space under your desk, which hopefully you have. And we're going to inhale and exhale. Come to the edge of your chair as best you can, and then just push your heel into the floor. Make this other leg nice and comfortable. So your toes want to go up towards the ceiling and feel the stretch all in the back of your leg. Try and maintain that upper body posture. And then inhale and exhale. Try and put your foot flat to the floor. If you get cramp, just come out of it. That's going to stretch out the front of the thigh. and then come back in. Inhale, exhale, push out with that left foot, toes go up. Foot comes down. And then come in. Let's do that again. If you want to get a deeper stretch, feel free to come more to the edge of your seat. Push it up. So nice tall spine. We don't want to put any pressure on the knee joints. Inhale, exhale, foot comes down. And then come in. Inhale, exhale, slide it away, toes go up. Inhale, exhale, foot comes down. And slide it back in. Well done. Okay, now we're just going to have really lazy posture just to release the back. So hands on the thighs, nod round, hands on the knees, around through the spine. And lift. Okay, so a really nice way to relax our upper body is also to twist around, because it's really good for our spine. Whenever we twist, our spine really enjoys it, okay, as long as we twist properly. So I'm going to come to the edge of my seat a little bit more for this one, so I can get a bit more of a bit more movement. You're going to take your right hand onto the outside of your left knee. Now you can do this stretch standing up, you can do it and seated as well on the floor, cross-legged. Your left hand is going to go behind your body and place the back of your hand on your right hip. And then we inhale, drop the shoulders, and exhale, twist over to the left. Now, if it's more comfortable, you can take your left hand and sort of place it onto the back of your chair. It's up to you. I prefer it hand here. I get more of a stretch into my arm as well. And release. Now let's just relax those arms, drop the shoulders. And release. Left hand on the outside of the right knee, left hand behind or on the back of the chair, and inhale, exhale, twist, look over that right shoulder, feel the twist in the rib cage, drop the shoulders down. And release. Well done. Now, in Pilates, standing up, we do something called the roll down, but you can actually do it seated as well. Bring your feet back, hands onto the thighs, drop your shoulders and nod your chin. And then as slowly as you wish, you can exhale, hands come all the way down, tuck the chin in. You don't want the chin right to the chest, remember, and just round through and hold here. Just round through a little bit more. And then reset, come and lift all the way up. Nice and tall. Breathe in. And out. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And let's go again. Nod the chin. Round through. Drop those shoulders. Really drop the shoulders down. Hands come all the way down over the legs. Tuck that chin and rest and round through. And then restack. And lift up. Now just sit back in your chair and just sit however you want. Just we've concentrated on our posture so much. Let's just relax. So breathe in and out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Wonderful. Now just sit up nice and tall again. And this time we're just going to work and release any tension we've got in our jaw. So it sounds really silly, but if you're sat at a desk and you find that you've got tension in the shoulders going up into your jaw, also as well if you're stressed, if you're like me, not that I'm stressed all the time, but I have a habit of clenching my jaw in my sleep, and it really feels awful when I wake up. So I'm not a yoga teacher for the face, but I do know a little bit and I know how to relax the jaw. So inhale. Exhale, and then just open your mouth as wide as you can, dropping your shoulders. And release. Again, as wide as you can. Inhale. Exhale. And then and release. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then open wide. A little bit wider. And relax. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then open. And release. Good. Let's sit up nice and tall for the final few moments. Going right back to the start. So let's drop those shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale. Right ear, right shoulder. Lift up. Inhale. Exhale the side. And come back in. And lift. Breathe those arms up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe in. And breathe out. And thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed this. It'll be saved to the page. You can come back to it as many times as you wish. Try and do it a little bit here and there, and I promise you it'll make the world of difference. Take care. Thank you for joining me as always, and I shall see you next Monday. Bye bye.